right, so explain yourselves. That sounded awful.
Explain yourself.
It was, I don't know how much we can talk about it. I was an idiot.
Whoa.
God, it was so rough. We had to do a 24-hour stream. She was the smart one.
She declared herself an idiot earlier.
Hey, podcast kittens, it's Cathy Cat.
Ladybeard coming at you with another proprietary limited company installing edition of Cat with Beard. Guests in the studio today. What's up, guests?
Yes, please introduce
Hello.
yourself.
I'm GUMi.
Yay.
My name is Phantom of the RiA and we are Crazy Fantasy.
Yay! Welcome, and I say thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, it is like cozy right now in the studio. We are like so many people here right now, and it's wonderful to have you here. It's so colorful. I love all the colors going on.
we're all different today as well.
Visually stimulating. Happy days. Tell the people who you are and what you're doing here.
Well, hello, we are Crazy Fantasy. We are a 4-member group and we feature RiA, GUMi, and 2 other members, Tsukasa and Mikuru. We are an RPG concept group and all of our songs are very wide genres, but very, very fun overall.
Hey.
What is an RPG concept group?
So
We have roles, like RPG classes, actually.
Okay.
So I'm a necromancer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's
Don't
why
mess
my
with
name
her.
Phantom of the RiA kind of comes from as well. And GUMi is...
I'm a half-elf healer.
Oh, okay. That's why it's green.
Yes,
Healing, and
yes.
you have hearts on you as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Before we continue, just explain your accents.
Oh, yes, we are... Well, GUMi is full Japanese.
I'm fully Japanese.
I'm half Australian.
Hey.
But we are both born in Australia.
Hey, Aussies, what I'm talking about. The girls are from Sydney, which is a large city in Australia, unlike my city, which isn't.
Okay, that's a thing to comment to.
Well, no, it's very true. Because, yeah, obviously we're from the same country, so that cannot be denied. By the way, these girls are very polite with their Australian talking. They talk.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because you know with Australians, we know how we talk to each other.
That's true,
So you guys both talk like very polite young ladies, which is wonderful.
We're idols.
That's correct, you are.
We are idols.
And also half-elf healers and friggin'
Necromancers.
Serious now, and I'm sure a couple of the listeners are too. So what are the other roles of the other 2 members then?
So we have a magical knight. She can use magic as well.
Good.
And we have a... What does she go? What's the English name?
わかんない。なんだろう。
Soryo. So she's like kind of like a sister, basically.
Like a nun?
Oh,
Yes.
praise and then
Yes.
Yes, so she's also a healer.
priestess.
So
white mage
Don't I?
healer.
yes.
Yes.
Priestess. Okay.
Priestess.
Normally in RPGs you call it a priestess, don't you? When you're playing
I
Dungeons
think
and
that's the
Dragons or what have
correct.
you.
I think so. Yeah.
We usually introduce ourselves in Japanese, so it's like when it's like English, we're like,
Oh, what is it called in English?
I'm excited to find out about your journey, how you got here. I'm crazy to find out more about crazy fantasy.
kind of fantasy.
We're going to find out all about this. And actually, I know you guys from the collab you've done with Ladybeard.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
We haven't even discussed this yet.
Exactly. Can you first explain what happened there? Like,
Well,
you came
two
in
things.
and out. It was fantastic. I watched it. It was great.
First things first, when we did our Australia tour with my group last year, these girls opened one of our shows in Sydney. So
Yeah, we did, yes.
because they're both from Sydney, which is a large city in Australia, unlike mine, which isn't. And so that happened. And then what happened was recently, when my group lost one of its members, we had a show which we needed help with. Because, of course, now we only had 2 members. We needed a third one. So all 4 members of Crazy Fantasy came and stood in for our missing member. And it was very, very helpful. Thank you for your help, ladies.
Thank
You're
you for
wonderful. By the
inviting
way, my
us.
pleasure. And by the way, all our fans are now big Crazy Fantasy fans. They thought you guys were fantastic.
oh, thank you. We're so happy to hear that.
I gotta
guys-
agree.
you
I
guys
was
have
in
spoken up a
the
lot.
audience on that day, and it was
Yeah.
really awesome because, like, for every song, one of the members popped in, introduced herself, done the dance and the singing and the whole performance, and popped out. It was like a really colorful collaboration, and I loved seeing that collab.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then I was very surprised how good your English was. So now I'm finding out more about it, and I hope we all will, by the end of the show, know a lot more about you guys.
Yeah, so now, all right, so explain yourselves, because what... That sounded awful.
Explain yourself.
Explain yourself.
You're in our studio, girls.
This is like I'm taking you to the police station.
Yeah, I know, it's not an interrogation.
How do a pair of Aussie girls end up in Tokyo in a role-playing game-oriented idol group?
Yes, give us your lore. Each one of your...
Backstory.
Right, so actually, we knew each other from primary school to begin
Oh,
with.
that's
We're
cute.
childhood friends.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh.
Basically, we had the same hobbies, anime, cosplay, Japanese, J-pop and stuff. And then Gumi joined a Australian idol cover group.
Oh.
And then I got invited into that group. So we kind of were in the Australian idol scene to begin with. But that group ended and we were like, well, we want more. We want to continue. So Gumi moved to Japan first. And then I was like, you know what? Me too. So I moved there. And then we were like, we kind of want a reason to go on stage. So Gumi organized a live show and we performed together under the name Crazy Fantasy. But we were just a cover group back then. But we were like, we want to continue more, make our original music. And that's how we kind of grew and created the concept RPG. And more members joined and more original songs as well.
All right,
So
happy days.
it was your girls' passion project then. You
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
like scout or anything. You came here and you're like, let's do this.
Yeah,
that's
we
how it
were
started.
originally self-produced and we did everything ourselves. But then we were like, oh, we want to make this what we want to do. Like this is like going to be our big project. So that's why we went under an agency as well. Yeah.
But hang on, let's back up for a second because you said hang on. Your childhood friends, and then you were in the cover group, the idol cover group in Australia, yeah?
Yes.
So generally speaking, when one thinks Australia, one does not think J-pop idols.
Yes.
So just what was this cover group, as it were?
It was, I don't know how much we can talk about it.
Oh, it's the things we can't talk about.
I don't know.
I was
Do you
about to
reckon?
bust out the name because I know the name of the whole establishment.
That's true because you also
Because
you did, yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, it seems like there's a secret that must be kept. Is there a secret to be
well, we
kept?
can talk about it.
It's all right. I think it's all right.
Is that right? It's fine.
Yeah.
I won't get in- I won't
I'm
get
curious
in
now
trouble.
what's going on.
Oh, okay.
You were part of the crew from Uncle Tetsu's, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so I'll explain so that if I'll take responsibility. Uncle Tetsu's was a pancake?
No, it was a
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
restaurant.
I got the cake bit. Listen,
What? Uncle Ted makes cakes?
in Sydney,
Okay.
which is a large city in Australia, unlike mine, there was a cheesecake establishment called Uncle Tetsu's, run by a Japanese man named Uncle Tetsu.
Yes.
Okay.
And so Uncle Tetsu's had its cheesecake restaurant, I guess.
Yes.
And then what happened was the waitresses would also be idols. So there was a stage. It was kind of like a maid cafe. So the waitresses would go and they would sing and dance for the clientele, the customer base, as it were.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, back when I first did my first show in Australia back in 2016 or something, I met the girls who were the Uncle Tetsu girls then because they were in a different group who were performing on the same stage as me. And so I met all them. And then next year in Australia when I came, they backup danced for me and whatnot. And so these girls are the continuing generation because the Uncle Tetsu's girls were kind of the old ones will leave and new ones will come. And so these guys are the updated version of that. And then Uncle Tetsu's closed!
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, that's kind of the reason, we also kind of fizzled out.
Was that the COVID?
Yeah, it was the COVID.
around
It was
that
the
time, yes.
Good question. So
Yes.
you were mates in like serving food
So-
and performing and singing and dancing?
No, it was
Our
it was
generation
different.
was different, so that's when they started splitting the performers and the maids. So we became
Yeah.
performer only, but there were also maids as well.
And we did like weekly shows. It was like we had like a one-man show every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many girls were in the same team? Did you have to coordinate your dances with them or just single dances?
It was like
It was a group, roughly around 4 to 6 max. That's where we would kind of go back and forth.
people would
between,
like come and go. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That started in
In Sydney!
Sydney, the city
a
that's bigger than
large
Adelaide.
city in Australia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unlike my... Let me explain for a second, because Uncle Tetsu was this gentleman in Sydney who had the cheesecake shop. So what made him say, I'm going to do the maid cafe type arrangement and stick the waitresses on the stage? Because beyond the anime conventions, that's not exactly a widely practiced business concept in Australia.
I know. Personal preference.
Could be.
He likes cute girls, he likes maid cafes, and he likes idols. And he's like, you know what? We're going to combine all of that into a restaurant. And I know I put
He also
my name
likes
on it.
cheesecake, don't forget
And
that.
he likes cheesecake.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all the
Very
things
fluffy
he loves, he
cheesecakes.
decided to put into that place. That sounds logical to
Is
me.
Uncle Tetsu a real man?
Yeah,
He
is.
is.
He
man.
a
We
real
have
man.
met him. Yes.
Met
Yes,
Uncle
yes.
Tetsu?
He would be at the shows, but like sleeping in the little corner. It was very, very sweet. This little old man just sleeping while everyone's like screaming in the pit.
He's like, he's working so hard to make the cheesecake and everything happen, I guess.
It's so sweet.
Was my guess close to the reality?
Kind of, I assume. I think it's more like they wanted to be like talked about as well. 'Cause,
Branding.
Yes,
yes, because everyone knew about Uncle Tetsu through those Instagram reels, Facebook, even I think at the time as well.
Oh, good marketing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just maid cafe, Japanese cultural maid cafe in Sydney that is accessible. Is very much like, oh yeah, we'll go there at least once. If you're into it, you keep going, kind of thing.
But you were probably the only maid cafe in the whole country. Yeah.
Apart from, like,
yes,
events, right?
Yes.
So that one's closed during the pandemic.
It did, yes.
So when did you come move here?
I moved here, like, I think 1 year after graduation,
So 2021.
21.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then RiA came along a
came-
year
I
later.
think the
or so.
following year, I think so. Yes.
Right. Okay. So you said so. Gumi, you said I've done all the idol things I can do in Australia effectively
Yes.
because you were also outside the cafe. You were also doing idol stuff in Australia, yeah, like at the
I
cons
was, yes,
and whatnot.
yes. Yeah.
All right. But then you said I've done everything I effectively can do here. I want more. I'm going to Japan.
Yes.
All right. I understand.
Yes.
What inspired each of you to become an idol in the first place? Like, what was your, like, I'm gonna do this? Like, anyone you looked up to, anyone you wanted to be like?
I didn't really have anyone I looked up to, but then I really did like dancing and singing, and I was like, oh, maybe I should just audition for the group I was in Sydney because I was just interested in it, and then I got in. So I was like, oh, this is actually what I want to do when I like started. So I was like when I graduated, I was like, this was what I wanted to do. So I was like, maybe I should just come to Japan and do more of it. Yeah.
As in what you wanted to do with your life.
Yes.
Okay. Happy days. Happy days. All right. And
myself, yes.
And RiA, you're like, that was a great idea. I'll come too.
Well, I think I was more like the more into researching about idols initially.
Research.
Like,
That's an angle.
Yeah, because I was firstly introduced to idols through anime, which was, I think for me it was Idolmaster.
Oh.
Like the OG Idolmaster. And then after that it was like AKB 0048, which introduced me to AKB. And then later on Love Live. So I started as a Love Live cover group first, performing in a cover group. And then Gumi was like, hey, you interested in actually singing this time? I'm like, sure. And that's how I joined. Then I started researching more about like actual Japanese idols besides anime world. And so I was into Bish, I was into Yurumerumo, I was into like all kinds of more rock side. And that's when I realized I like the rock idols more after joining. Yeah.
That's actually a good point. How would you describe your music style of crazy fantasy?
We're actually really interesting. So our members all have, we called it Zensei, which means past life, when we were in a different group before.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant like when you were a dragon hunter.
No.
As
You actually wear a magician.
It's just like a Japanese like idol lingo kind of like saying Zensei past life. But like, so Gumi and Mikuru are more from the kira kira scene, which means cutesy scene. And Tsukasa and I were from the rock scene. We came together and we're like half rock, half kira kira. What do we do? Genre everywhere. We have rock songs, we have cutie songs, we have very like EDM songs. We're just all over, so we can go to any events pretty much. But
good
overall,
move.
very
Yes,
fun.
yeah.
Good
Overall,
move.
fun songs. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is the yin to the yang.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
impressive. I see.
So you started self-produced in Japan,
Yes.
which I thought is probably quite a hard time to be self-produced. Tell us more about that. Yeah.
I was an idiot.
Whoa.
This conversation just took a left turn. All right, tell us more about your idiocy. Poor girl.
It was during COVID as well. I came here and I was like, I want to do Idol, but then I'm very scared to go in an agency because sometimes there are bad agencies. Yes.
Yep.
I've heard of terrible ones and I didn't know anyone here. So I was like, well, if I go in a bad agency and if I'm like stuck there for like 2 years, I would just want to end my life. So
Damn, that turned dark. Oh my god.
So I
You're
was
with
like,
the priestess now. She'll bring you back.
Healing powers.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I should just start self-produce. That's when it started. But I didn't have the money. I didn't have the budget. Well, because, I just moved to Japan.
That's already a lot of money.
That's already a big loss. And I didn't have anywhere to work. So it was really hard for me. But then I was like, I still want to do Idol. So I was like, self-produce. And I just did cover songs back then. And I started to grow a bit, but then I didn't grow as much because, cover group. I was just doing solo and cover. So I didn't grow as much. It was hard getting fans. It was very, very hard. And it was during COVID as well.
see you
You're like
later.
not supposed to go to live performances.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Or like
It was a
cheer in your
nightmare.
heart, but everyone was like very quiet.
And you can't do any of the calls or the mixes. So it was just clapping and not many people showed up, obviously, because
You weren't allowed.
supposed to.
Wow.
it sounded to me like you started Idol in Japan on hard mode.
It did.
100%,
Yeah, I
you
did.
started the hardest time
I did.
possibly could.
So it took me time to actually start growing.
And then on top of that, Gumi, you moved here alone, yeah? Like,
I
like your
did.
family's not here or anything.
Yeah, I moved here.
So you moved here, you didn't have a job. What did you do? Where did you stay?
So I did have, money I saved up. So
Good.
yes, I
Okay.
came here with my saved up money and I found a house. I started living and I was like, oh, maybe I should start Con Cafe.
Oh,
Yes. So I started off doing Con Cafe and then doing idols on the weekends.
Also, you kind of you were serving probably cheesecakes and drinks, and there we go.
Yeah. And then I started off there, and then I think it was 1 or 2 years ago. I was like, I want to do Idol, just Idol, and that's when I stopped doing my Con Cafe, and I just switched to Idol, and that's when I started making my original music as well.
good.
And
Wow.
I actually started growing more. So it was 2-3 years of nightmare.
Yeah,
But
yep.
yeah, I'm okay now.
Made it through the fire.
I just want
Yeah.
to use this to illustrate the point that we make on the podcast over and over and over again, that for everyone who wants to come to Japan and live your Japan dream, you just have to get a job, save some money, buy a flight, come over and figure it out.
Yeah.
Work hard, keep grinding. Don't
it's the
expect
only
things
way.
to come to you. Don't expect to just go viral because
Yeah.
you're in Japan. There's so many people who are coming to Japan right now. You have to put in the hard work.
Yeah.
You have to put in sacrifices and the grind.
Yeah.
And the other option is to do a lot of research like RiA did. So RiA, tell us how then, once
Yeah, when
Gumi
did you
went through
join?
that nightmare, how'd you then show up?
So I moved after, actually, I did an audition in Australia, which was an online audition for a Japanese group.
Oh, that's interesting. All right.
So we had to do streams and do challenges, and then people would get eliminated
Oh, boy.
through each stream.
sounds
Entertainment, right? But yeah,
Oh,
I
tough.
got to top 5, which is pretty good.
That is already a
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
If you think about it.
God, it was so rough. We had to do a 24-hour stream.
Oh, you were on
yeah.
this audition. I know this
Yeah,
audition.
yeah.
That's rough. Oh my
bro.
God,
24 hours. No, if you sleep, you're eliminated.
what?
sleep,
That's
you're eliminated.
hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, if you're not even training yourself up because you're not a streamer, this is hard. I stream,
Yes.
but 9 hours, 12 hours, that's already hard. So 24, that's
You
really
do 12-hour streams? Yeah. Nuts to that,
Special
bro.
streams, I stream for longer, yeah.
Nuts to that.
God.
I did
not
2
regular.
hours and I'm like, see you later.
Yeah. 24 hours was rough.
That's
but yeah,
rough, yeah.
I felt satisfied by the end. I got eliminated, but I felt so satisfied that I was able to get through it.
Yeah,
and
respect.
my face was out now
Yes,
in Japan.
good point.
So I was like, it's a waste if I just stay here. Let's go. Moved. And then
found an audition for a group in Japan and got in straight away.
Oh,
so
good.
I actually
Congratulations.
got into a group under 2 months, I think,
Congratulations.
of
Okay.
moving. I didn't research enough because it was a wafu group. It was a very traditional Japanese group.
Oh.
And I was like the only English speaking member, and I couldn't even write kanjis back then. So, and they were like, "So you're in this group? Can you write the group name?" I'm like, "No."
Wow.
yeah.
okay.
But it gave me a reason to study my Japanese, and I think my Japanese speaking got better. Like I didn't have that like Aussie accent in my Japanese anymore. But yeah. And then, that group also ended, and that's when we became more serious as Crazy Fantasy. And then now we're here. So it was all, kind of
Meant to be.
Yeah.
Both of you enriched your experiences with the other experiences you had on the side to
Yeah,
then
yeah.
bring to Crazy
Yes,
Fantasy.
yeah.
Can I ask a potentially sensitive question?
Of course.
So hang on. So that audition you did, that was for like a major level
Yes.
kind of group?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because like I say, I think I know the audition you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then when you did your wafu group, just tell the people what wafu means.
Oh, wafu means traditional Japanese, pretty much. Yes.
So when you did that and you couldn't write the kanji and whatnot,
Sorry. Traditional Japanese meaning cute or like wearing kimono or what
we
is the...
were more like kimono-esque, but also our music was more towards rock. So
Okay,
rock with like shamisen sounds and
Okay,
stuff.
now that makes more sense.
so
Okay,
like
good.
wagaki band kind
Yes,
of.
yes.
Okay.
Sorry for jumping in
It's
there.
all right. Sensitive question, pardon me for asking, but in that environment, being who you are, were you bullied at all for not being up to speed with your authentic Japaneseness?
Not necessarily. Luckily the members I was with were also new to idols. All of them had no experience beforehand. So we were all very friendly with each other. They were all lovely. But it was rough beginning because no one had experience. No one had experience
There was
at
no
all.
senpai in there.
Yeah. And well, we had a senpai in our agency at the time, very Kira. And then we were very rock. So their fans were like, huh? But so, obviously we didn't get that much support from that group, but like that's totally fair. But yeah, we built our own little scene eventually, so it went well. Yeah.
I see. But hang on. But you guys are both Japanese, so you grew up speaking Japanese and that at home, but you didn't write and whatnot.
You didn't go to like Japan school on the weekends because some of my friends do.
Yeah, we did.
You did?
Yeah.
Went through all that, really.
She was the smart one. Oh.
She declared herself an idiot earlier,
I know she isn't because I know she was the smarter one in her class. I was in a class under her, but I knew. Yeah, but I was the one who would be like, looking over at the
excellent.
next person. So
way to do it.
memory wasn't that good, but speaking was really well.
Comparing self-produce and now being part of an agency, what are like the benefits and the merits and demerits, I guess?
Having a staff is lovely.
Yeah.
Oh
Having
my
a
god,
staff.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
we would be the ones organizing the Bupon, the merch
Yes,
stands, yeah. And then, having to go take a picture. Whenever the group checkies come, we have to go find a different person to take for us. Like
Yeah, good
a
point.
different fan.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you need like
sense.
your super fan who's a helper.
Yeah, or we would just literally go talk to a
random
person we
person.
don't even know. Can you
Yeah.
just be like, please, can you take a picture of us three, please? Grab a flyer while you're at it as well.
Oh, we do a selfie.
Yeah.
I imagine the fans would have loved that though. It would have gone, oh!
It was very
Sure,
interesting. It was
yeah.
a reason for them to talk. And everyone's nice as well. Usually it'll be like, yeah, of course. But yeah, having a staff is way better.
Yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah.
But being industrious and DIYing things is the way it
DIY,
starts out for
yeah.
most of us.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's,
Yes.
But it's also good that you did that because, like you say, it makes you appreciate when you get
Yes.
to the next level and now you
Yes,
have help.
definitely.
And now you can concentrate on doing your job as opposed to having to run an entire operation.
Yes.
One thing I was wondering, you said it's your own music. Do you write it? Do you do the notes? Do you get a musician to help you? How do you make your own music for Crazy Fantasy?
So we commission a music producer, and at the beginning, though, GUMi and I were the ones writing the lyrics. So for our first 3-4 songs, we were involved with the lyrics. Now that we were in an agency, we have 3 songs that got added since then, and they have all been done by a proper music producer and everything written it out for us as well.
So we didn't have
Yeah.
to do anything else then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And any kind of like experiences with that, like making it yourself and then getting help?
It was like, so I was usually the one contacting the music producer, I would have to just go around seeing their music, their portfolio, and asking them like how much you could commission. Yeah. And then, so usually the prices will be high, like it will be more expensive if you ask them to do the lyrics. And because we were self-produced and we were under budget, I would just be like, oh, can you just make the music? We can write the lyrics ourselves. And that's how like I commissioned them. And then we got the music and we were like, so who wants to write the lyrics?
Yeah.
Who wants to, And
Actually, we have 2 of our songs written by an Australian producer.
Hey!
Yeah. Yeah. He is from, I believe, Brisbane, actually. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. But yeah, so he couldn't write Japanese. So that's why we also wrote the lyrics for that one. But hey, we're still singing his songs as well in Japan. So it's nice.
days.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So we're getting to the end of this episode. But when we come back, I actually want to talk more about idling in Japan versus idling in Australia, because I think that's quite a fun conversation to have, into which you guys have unique perspective and insight.
Guys, I was going to actually ask one question. Can I ask that before the end?
Sure. What's your question?
I mean, all of you can answer this question now for me, who doesn't know. How are the fans in Australia different from the fans in Japan?
Well, I wanted to make that a big old thing in the next episode.
No.
So how about, if you want to hear the answer to Cathy Cat's thought-provoking question, you need to tune into our next episode with Crazy Fantasy. Before we get onto that, tell the people where to find you on the internet.
Yes, so you can search us on our socials. It's usually at @CF_official. And we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok. Just wherever we're accessible. We also have all of our songs, every single one of them, on every subscription music service right now.
Wow.
So if you're interested, have a listen to all of our songs. We would very much appreciate it.
And FYI, underbar is Japanese English for underscore.
Ah, yes, that's right.
You are forgetting your roots, my friend.
I used to get this wrong for like tons and tons of episodes of the podcast too, with Cathy Cat Underbar TV.
An underscore. An underscore.
I'll probably still get it wrong from here onwards.
Well, noted for next time. Next episode.
Very important.
This was the rehearsal. The next episode, we're going to get this right, all of us together.
All together.
In Australia, an underbar like sounds like something you put underneath the ute to stop, like, you know what I'm saying? To keep the tires safe if you're hitting a kitten, you know what I'm saying?
Or a cereal bar, the underbar.
Oh, the underbar.
Cereal bar. All right, let's see you next.
That was a brilliant laugh. It's very genuine. I love it. That was super genuine. We'll be back for more genuine laughs on the next installment of
Cat with Beard.
Goodbye.
Thank you.